Messieurs.
Bonjour Caroline, bonjour à tous. Jagdish Joypal, bonjour.
Bonjour Nawaz, Caroline, bonjour, tout bon auditeur également, bonjour.
Alors, il y a la PNQ du leader de l'opposition qui est rejetée, PNQ accès aux pensions. Et ce matin, Arvin Boulel peut venir avec un autre PNQ qui concerne ben Mauriciens qui bloqués à l'étranger à cause Covid-19, PNQ adressé au ministre Nando Boda.
Arvin Boulel demande le ministre des Affaires étrangères, Nando Boda, nombre Mauriciens qui bloqués à l'étranger depuis mars 2020. Dans quel pays se trouvaient et déposer la liste au Parlement concernant ça, Mauriciens qui se trouvaient là. Est-ce qu'il y a un plan qui est établi en ordre de priorité et si ça la liste là, finalisée, donne une date de rapatriement et de qui pays. Il demande également quand dernier Mauricien pour rapatrier, c'est-à-dire dans qui date, et qui ban cas de détresse qui fait enregistré, qui fait considérer en priorité. Donc, une question qui fait acceptée, et sans doute aujourd'hui, parce que les escalaires, pas fini n'a aucun rejet, contrairement à ce qui fait passer hier. Et là, nous faisons rappel Nawaz qui en mars, fait la fin mars, Nando Boda, ministre des Affaires étrangères, qui donne la liste préliminaire de ban Mauriciens qui bloqués. Dans quel pays? En Haleine, surtout Mumbai et Delhi, Dubaï, Istanbul, c'est-à-dire en Turquie, à Londres, en France, Nairobi, Johannesburg, donc l'Afrique du Sud, le Maroc. Istanbul, Dubaï, Pénavol. Donc, c'est pourquoi les Mauriciens, surtout, il y a un certain nombre d'étrangers qui sont bloqués là-bas. Et l'autre, c'est déplacé vers Paris. À Madagascar, d'après la liste qui circulait, il y a 200 Mauriciens. Mais seulement, le gouvernement malgache a proposé que l'avion soit sorti ici vide, pas amener aucun malgache. Retour à Madagascar et il prend les Mauriciens pour retourner à Maurice. Donc, il y a un gros problème qui peut poser avec certains pays qui imposent des conditions sanitaires. Maurice également impose ces conditions-là, ce qui expliquait que le rapatriement peut faire avec difficulté. Deuxième question, c'est qu'il y a une fermeture de frontières. Alors, par exemple, au Pakistan, il y a 54 Mauriciens qui peuvent attendre et il y a 10 Pakistanais qui trouvent eux à Maurice et qui peuvent envie retourner au Pakistan. Maintenant, Pakistan International Airlines peut envie retourner Vin Maurice, prend sa 10 Mauriciens là, 10 Pakistanais, pardon, mais seulement le gouvernement mauricien pas voulu y amener aucun Mauricien à bord de cet avion-là. Donc, il paraît qu'il y a un arrangement, c'est-à-dire une disposition peut prendre pour qu'il et à Mauritius lui-même, de faire ça rapatriement-là, nous pas connaître combien de temps et ça pour prendre. Alors, à partir d'une réponse que le ministre peut donner, nous pouvons gagner une idée et justement comment on peut faire. Fermeture de l'aéroport, autorisation gouvernement à gouvernement, social distancing dans l'avion, également, ça aussi, il pose un problème dans le sens que le nombre de places disponibles est limité parce qu'au lieu d'un avion amène 250, 300 passagers, les besoins contentent à 150. Et il y a un autre aspect, 1670 employés Mauriciens à bord croisière. Ça, c'est un autre aspect. Il y a certaines croisières, ils viennent tout près que Maurice, hier même, mais seulement je ne suis pas capable de débarquer parce que le gouvernement mauricien pas d'accord, pas fin donne autorisation. Et ils sont liés par un contrat avec la compagnie de croisière et le ministre des Affaires étrangères ou le gouvernement mauricien peut dire ça ban compagnie croisière là, eux même besoin occupe ça ban employé là, prend une disposition pour ce rapatriement et ban mauricien, il y a 22 compagnies qui emploient ban mauriciens dispersés dans 82 ports. Voilà la situation, comment les présenter. Et sans doute le ministre des Affaires étrangères pour donner une indication. Finalement, un cas, un Sud-Africain qui tient à Maurice et qui, ce garçon de 9 ans, est décédé, nous pas connaissons avec la pandémie, et ce madame, il est infecté, il est contaminé, il admet l'hôpital. Alors, un Sud-Africain à Maurice, ensemble avec certains Mauriciens, je fin personnellement à fréter un avion pour qu'il soit Sud-Africain-là, est capable de déplacer le Johannesburg et ça fin passé le 27 avril dernier.
Et ce qui peut surtout provoque la colère de ben Mauriciens qui bloqués à l'étranger Jagdish. Là, on évoque situation ben Mauriciens qui travaillent le même bateau de croisière. Il y a une compagnie qui peut disposer à fret un avion à autres frais
Oui.
pour ramener ben Mauriciens à Maurice. Mais ça ben avion-là pas payer un droit d'atterrissage.
Oui.
Il paraît que le gouvernement peut exiger à ce qu'ils viennent là et à Mauritius. Ça aussi, quand le gouvernement décide pour rapatrier les autres. Et nous apprendre que le coût et à Mauritius est vraiment élevé. Et c'est ça qui peut provoquer la colère, parce que une compagnie peut disposer, mettre ça ben Mauricien là, un avion privé,
Oui.
mais problème pas payer un droit d'atterrissage. Et maintenant, ben Mauricien là, je peux dire, je peux donc un problème reste dans un centre de quarantaine, et je paye un avion pour venir, mais le gouvernement pas payer l'autorisation. Alors là, il y a une case qui même mettait en cours. Il y a un groupe mauricien aux Maldives, par exemple, qui sont disposés venir par un avion privé, mais pas un droit d'atterrissage. Et une situation comme ça, les bons nous gagnent quand même éclaircissement et surtout
Disposition.
gisement de la Cour suprême pour connaître est-ce que le gouvernement en droit fait ça. Alors là, il y a une réponse parlementaire qui nous gagne de la part du ministre Joe Lejonga, c'est qu'il y a seulement 7 centres de quarantaine qui sont en opération maintenant. Et le ministre Bouddha, la dernière fois, il dit qu'il y a une place limitée. Alors c'est vrai qu'il y a un centre de quarantaine et un coût, 94 millions d'euros, puis il paye à l'hôtel qui convertit le centre hôtelier en centre de quarantaine. Et puis, il y a quelques dégâts qui ben Mauriciens fin causés dans un centre de quarantaine. Ça fin coûte 6 millions d'euros à l'État.
Additionnel.
Donc, à peu près 100 millions d'euros finit déboursé. Mais n'empêche, ben Mauriciens peut évoquer le droit fondamental de pouvoir rentrer dans ce pays. Et mes gouvernements, pas donne ça l'autorisation là. Et moi, pensais le leader de l'opposition pour évoque toute la question ce matin.
Oui, il y a également une famille qui disposait eux-mêmes de créer un centre de quarantaine avec un suivi sanitaire des autorités mauriciennes pour être capable au moins retourner. Il y a 2 cas, et surtout concernant depuis l'Inde et Pakistan. Il y a une famille qui est au Pakistan avec 54 Mauriciens. Donc, le gouvernement n'a pas donné sa autorisation pour qu'il y ait un avion pakistanais venu atterrir à Maurice. Pareil, comment ça finit de passer avec Air India.
Voilà, c'est parti pour la PNQ du jour.
House that Honorable François has made a request that permission be granted to him to address the House on the Appropriation 2020-2021 Bill 2020 through video conferencing, as is unable to travel to mainland Mauritius due to the circumstances prevailing amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Honorable members, in view of the exceptional prevailing circumstances, I have acceded to the request of the honorable member. Thank you.
None. Question.
Honorable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, I've given notice to a private question to address the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs, International Trade and Regional Integration, whether, in regard to the Mauritian nationals stranded abroad amid the COVID-19 pandemic, he will A, state the number thereof since March 2020 and the countries where they were or are presently located and table the list thereof. B, if an orderly repatriation plan has been finalized, and if so, indicate the dates of repatriation and from which countries, and table copy of the said plan. C, the expected date of repatriation of the last such Mauritian national, and D, the types of distress cases thereof which have been given or are being given priority.
Mr. Speaker, sir, half of the world was confined with the spread of the COVID-19, with closure of borders, airspace, cancellation of connecting flights, and they have left travelers across the globe stranded in many countries. These include around 6,350 Mauritians in across 92 countries, as remote as Trinidad and Tobago, Siberia, Uruguay, Peru, Congo, Sudan, Uzbekistan, as well as in Europe, India, and Madagascar. The figure I'm giving today, in fact, is a figure as a date, because a lot of Mauritians, in a lot of situations, they come to the high commissions and the embassies to explain their plight and their desire to be repatriated. We understand their anxiety, we understand the pain of separation from their families and from their loved ones, from their country, but this is a very, very tall order, Mr. Speaker, sir, to be able to repatriate all the stranded people who have been out of the country. In fact, we are talking about 24 African countries, 23 European countries, 22 Asian countries, 14 countries in Australasia and Americas, 6 in Eastern Europe, and 3 in the Indian Ocean. I'm tabling a list of countries where Mauritian citizens are still stranded. I wish to inform the House, Mr. Speaker, sir, that we have to explain what is stranded. I believe that being stranded is somebody who had a return air ticket prior to lockdown, and because of the decision of the government of Mauritius to lock down the country on the 19th of March, they were in a situation where they could not fly back to Mauritius. Second, you have those who could not return to Mauritius because of the lockdown and the closure of airspace in the countries where they were locked, because of prevailing conditions in the countries where they were locked. And third, those who became subsequently, because of the extension of lockdown, and then you have those who are residing, working, studying, and who now, because of the pandemic and the situation in countries like India, UK, US, want to return to Mauritius because they feel safe to Mauritius. So we have the 4 categories, Mr. Speaker, sir. The stranded Mauritians then are those who want a tourist visa, medical treatment, students, business people, those who went in pilgrimage, and of course Mauritius. In Mauritius, we are all sympathetic to their plight, and we understand their distress, their trauma, and anxiety. As regards to numbers of repatriated people, Mr. Speaker, sir, the Prime Minister had given a figure here during the speech on the bill, on the Workers' Rights Bill, and the Honourable Leader of the Opposition then had a press conference and he said that the figures were not correct. But I like to say here that the figures were indeed correct at that point in time. So far, Mr. Speaker, sir, government, with the assistance of our embassies, with foreign sanitary officials, airlines, and other stakeholders, have repatriated 1,883 stranded Mauritians from Australia, Dubai, South Africa, UK, France, Reunion Island, Maldives, Turkey, and India. This is a process which is ongoing, which we started, in fact, in January and February when the pandemic was declared in Wuhan. And we were the first to repatriate 47 Mauritians from Wuhan. And in the months of March, we repatriated 935 stranded Mauritians. In April, 111. And in May, 448. In June, we have already repatriated 342, and we are planning to repatriate another 645 by the end of June. Mr. Speaker, sir, the House would appreciate that repatriation of Mauritians in the given context is extremely complicated and requires wide-ranging collaboration and intense synergy of action between our missions, foreign sanitary authorities, airlines, civil aviation authorities, and other stakeholders. For instance, the repatriation of the 12 Mauritians from Wuhan took us to Paris, Quai d'Orsay, to China, and ultimately they took a flight, and after their quarantine, they were assisted by an embassy in Paris to travel from Marseille to Paris. All the decisions as regards to repatriation are taken by the National Committee with my colleagues ministers and chaired by the Honorable Prime Minister. And we have monitored the situation on a daily basis, depending on the quarantine and treatment capacities as recommended by the Ministry of Health. Because we have to always do the balance between the national interest of 1.3 million people who are exposed to the virus and cases which can come from abroad. In fact, for the last 6-7 weeks, we have had no local cases. All cases have been imported cases so far. So we had quarantine capacity at 1,300. Then, to make an effort, we moved on to 500, and now we have moved on to 700, Mr. Speaker, sir. Together with this phenomenon of stranded Mauritians and returning Mauritians, we had another issue. It is when the cruise industry went bust. When the cruise industry went bust throughout the world, Mr. Speaker, sir, we found ourselves with around 2,000 Mauritian crew members working on 21 cruise ships companies in 82 ports around the world, according to the latest updates. And we have been, everybody has been hearing about them. There have been videos about them. And we have been in a position to ask them, I am going to explain what is going to be done with the cruise people, because we have been working with the cruise company. But I would like here, Mr. Speaker, sir, to submit, to lay on the table of the Assembly a map of the world where the Mauritians are stranded today. Second, I'm tabling a list of Mauritians as they are now, and this is for the leader of the opposition. When it comes to the cruise, Mr. Speaker, sir, 80% of the cruise workers, in fact, have been recruited by 3 companies. Royal Caribbean, 1,000 more. MSC Cruise, 545. Celebrity Cruise. And I'm tabling a list of cruise and where they are. And in front of their distress, Mr. Speaker, sir, and the one side we had the distress of the cruise workers, on the other side we had the interest of the national population in Mauritius. We had a working session with the cruise companies about an organized, orderly repatriation. In consultation with the cruise companies and in consultation with my colleague, the Minister of Labour, and the Minister of Tourism, and the Minister of Labour, Tourism and Health, we have made an arrangement with the cruise companies to be able to have 3 flights as from now to the end of June, 3 to 4 flights to the end of July, which will allow us, we are taking 150 people on board each flight for a very specific reason. Because of social distancing in the planes, we are allowed only 150 passengers on a plane. So we have 3 flights in June, 3 flights again in July, and we hope to continue in August. This is as regards to the calendar. Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to lay on the table of the Assembly our orderly repatriation plan for the months of June and for the month of July. And we are working on a tentative plan for August, Mr. Speaker, sir. As regards to June, we had a flight from Delhi. It was an Air India flight. We had another flight from Mumbai, another Air India flight. And we had a flight from Air Mauritius, by Air Mauritius from Australia. And we are having now, in June, 8 flights. 1 cruise from London, 1 from Maldives, 1 from Joburg to pick up people from Addis and Kenya, one from Seychelles on the 17th of Wednesday, one from Madagascar on the 20th of June, one from Reunion Island on the 21st of June, another one for cruise from Rome, 24th of June, and July the 30th. The plan for July, Mr. Speaker, sir, is to bring in almost 1,200 people on a number of flights, 3 cruise flights, including Dubai, and we are using Dubai as a hub, because we have had the problems of our nationals, for example, in Pakistan, where they were locked down and there were no flights because of the whole frontier was closed. But now that we have the possibility of having some flights with Emirates between Dubai and Pakistan, we can bring them from Pakistan to Dubai, and we are using Dubai as a hub. So the opening of Dubai has been helpful. All those who are from the UK, from the US and Canada, I'm explaining, all those who are from the US and Canada, we are bringing them either to London or to Dubai to be able to take the flights, which will allow us in the months of July to cater for about 1,164 people, keeping in mind our quarantine capacity. All the time we have been keeping in mind the quarantine capacity, and we will continue on this trend, Mr. Speaker, sir. As regards to what were the criteria for repatriation, well, everybody wants to be repatriated, but among the one, because every time we went to one city or one destination, it was not easy, so we had very strict criteria which were monitored by the high commissions and the embassies, and in some cases by the consulate. The criteria was a valid return ticket to Mauritius, patients who had gone for medical treatment and accompanying relatives or carers, elderly persons above 60, families with toddlers, children, students, and other Mauritians in distress. Distress, you have students who have no hostel, no campuses, no courses, and no money. And we have been trying to see how we can bring them here. We have a test of COVID. We have a COVID test, not exceeding 5 days from the time of embarkation, and this is the condition for the Mauritians to be able to board the flight. In spite of this, so far, the cases in Mauritius have been imported cases from Mumbai, from Delhi, and in spite of the fact that in some cases the PCR tests were negative, when the Mauritians arrived here in quarantine or on arrival, they were tested positive. So we have changed the protocol, and now we have a PCR test within 5 days before embarkation, another PCR test on arrival, another one on the 7th day, another one on the 14th day before they are allowed to leave. As regards to when will the last Mauritians come back to Mauritius, I think the Honourable Leader of the Opposition will understand that we have a visibility for June, July, for August. A lot will depend on how frontiers are going to be open. A lot would depend on how flights are going to operate, and flights are going to be very costly because of social distancing, and a lot will depend on the situation in Mauritius and abroad. I think I would like to stress, and I'm going to end up here, and I would like to stress on 2 things, Mr. Speaker, sir. We should never forget that this virus is aggressive. It contaminates people very easily. One person can contaminate a whole plane. We know exactly what happened with the cruise carriers, warships in India. What happened in France, what happened in Yokohama, what happened in the US. We have to be very cautious. On the one hand, we share the pain of separation of our nationals everywhere. We are working as hard as we can to be able to bring them back, and hopefully, if things get better, we will be able to have all the Mauritians back in Mauritius, and we will be able to, at the same time, see to it that we don't have a second surge here, and we don't have clusters here because of imported cases, and at the same time, see to it that our nationals are back home. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, the Minister, of course, has given a lengthy reply. I take it for granted that ample time will be given to all of us to put relevant questions to the Minister. Can I ask the Minister that as signatory to the International Convention on Civil and Political Rights and the African Convention on the Human Rights, we have an obligation, and as a state, I'm sure Minister would agree, that we have an obligation to repatriate our people. Can I ask him whether it needed a lot of pressure to be borne upon government for government to act and to have an orderly plan?
My colleague in the committee would bear testimony to that.
Can I?
Let me answer
Sorry.
regards to the international conventions. Of course, we can understand that. It's a right to enter our own country of nationality. But also there are the emergency cases. We have when the whole world was confined.
Knowing that this is of a tall order, therefore we have to make it easy for ourselves. Can I ask the Minister, why is it that when a ship was not too far from our coastal area, why is it that that ship was not allowed to enter our port and to disembark those people who were enduring a lot of hardship? As a humane government, I would expect that government to act and to react promptly to a request made by, not only by the parents of these people, but by the captain of the ship who asked for rights to dock.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I have to explain this very carefully. When we take a plane, the plane is sanitized. The crew, they wear PPEs. We have social distancing. As regards to that ship, I hope the Honourable Leader of the Opposition is talking about the Volendam. The Volendam was carrying 13 Mauritians. In fact, they were not carrying 13 Mauritians. The 13 Mauritians was on another ship called Island Princess. And if we had given the authorization, then they would have been transshipped in the high waters from the Princess to the Volendam. Okay. Now, okay. The other, yes. There was one thing which was never said, that on board the Volendam, you had 700 other people. What? Yes. What were the conditions under which these people were faring at sea? And there was a case in court. What was the judge's ruling? We had a curfew. I understand. There was a ruling. There was a ruling. There was a ruling. I don't have it with me, but there was a ruling. The ruling said three things. We had threats that the ship could not, we had never given approval to the ship to come to Mauritius. And that was on the 8th, so that is well in advance. But the ship wanted to barge in the Mauritian waters. That was the first thing. The second, the judge said that there was a curfew. Now, the question is whether you will let ships barge in the Mauritian waters. I can understand the pain and the tragedy of those who are on board so near to their motherland. But then, we cannot allow ships just to barge in the Mauritian waters and come to the port and just disembark their crew members. Yes, they are Mauritian citizens. But we had told, let me tell you one thing now. We wrote a letter to all the crew companies to tell them, please take care of the crew members as mentioned in their contract, including medical treatment. Second, stay where they are. Up and until, just like we are having the orderly, how is it that now we are organizing 7 flights of crew members? They were on ships all around the world. So now we are bringing them to ports where Air Mauritius can come collect them.
Now, I cannot understand the double standard of this government. At the time when the contagion was at its peak, Caribbean cruise ships were allowed to enter a port with tourists. So either as a responsible government, you took appropriate measures to see to it that there was full compliance to sanitary measures, and you allow those people to land, to come to Mauritius.
It was before the lockdown.
So my friend Hauser, do you know of the number of private jets that have been allowed to land in Mauritius?
Only
in
one
lockdown?
leader of the opposition in the House.
What we had told the ship companies, stay where you are, stay safe. We are organizing, which we are doing now. We are bringing almost 2,000 people from now to end of July in an organized manner. How can we allow ships just to come in and barge into the waters? Now it is organized because they will take the plane. Before taking the plane, they will have the PCR test. The plane is going to be sanitized. On arrival here, they will take the test. And on arrival here, they will go in quarantine. Let me give an example, the Honorable Leader of the Opposition. There were experts who came from the Royal Indian Navy to help Mauritius. We were given the assurance by the Indian authorities that they were COVID-free, that they had done their quarantine on board the ship. They had gone to the Seychelles, but they had not landed in the Seychelles. Then they asked for entry into Mauritius, and we did a test on entry. We know that it's not easy on a cruise ship. You know the situation of cruise ships. What happened in a warship in Brest? What happened in Yokohama? What happened? I'm not saying so. What I'm saying is it has to be done in an orderly manner, in a tested manner.
Let the minister reply. You don't need a reply?
Oh, hold on a minute. It's not that he's giving... The Honorable Minister is trying to find excuses. All the sanitary measures could have been taken. All these sanitary measures. Can I ask him, in relation to our friends from Maldives, wanted to charter a plane, why is it that they were not given landing rights to
the case is in court. We had given a date. I think it was mid-August. We are making arrangements, we see, because we have been able to accommodate in quarantine a bit more people, and we will allow the flight soon.
So you see, the problem with the Honorable Minister is trying to find excuses. We are talking of a limited number of people from Seychelles who were willing to travel to Mauritius at a time, of course, when there was phasing out of the COVID virus. Okay? Now, can I ask him, in respect of those who are coming from Europe, can we be told as to where the picking points are?
From Europe, it will be London and Paris. And with the opening of Dubai, Dubai will be a solution. You'll have the plan. I have submitted it to you. You will see the quarantine. We have established quarantine for 14 days. Sometimes it may end up more. If one single person is tested positive, the whole cohort has to stay there another week before another test is taken. So these are going to be the hubs. And hopefully, with the opening of Dubai, as I said, we can access some nationals who were really stranded, like in Pakistan.
Now, am I to understand that our High Commission in London has given strict instruction to those who are willing to come back that they should go to a selected lab for PCR tests to be conducted. Is that true?
No. The High Commissions have been able to organize, help, encadrer. We cannot ask them to go to the test on one specific laboratory. You know, today, you know how difficult it is to do the PCR test and how costly it is. In some cases, yes, how costly it is. So we have been helpful. We have not been asking somebody to go and do the test at that particular lab.
Are you sure that's not the role that we have? No. Allow my friends to come in.
No, I should allow. If you don't mind. Honorable Shakil.
I've heard the Honourable Minister give a very long answer, but however, could you explain to the House why is it that on the 29th of May 2020, his ministry sent an email to all agents asking them that there would be a cost imposed upon the cruise companies employing Mauritians, 2,000 Mauritians, and the cost would be for quarantine costs, which would have to be borne by the cruise ships. And I'm wondering why he kept that quiet and kept it silent all this time, in spite of him taking time to answer. And those costs would be to pay for the accommodation package of Mauritian citizens in Mauritius that is under, according to convention, under the responsibility of the state, medical facilities in Mauritius, PCR tests in Mauritius that the government would not bear the cost of for Mauritian citizens, and that there's going to be a discounted price to be paid by cruise companies of $1,300 per Mauritian citizen, over and above having forced the cruise companies to sign a charter agreement with Air Mauritius Limited in administration, when instead, those are the questions, when instead they had their own charter flight, which the minister refused to allow other charter flights to come in at their cost, but imposed Air Mauritius. And why is it, the last point, is that they are being made to pay Air Mauritius $1,300 or euros and imposing it upon them? Why is it that each Mauritian citizen is having a price paid on his head as far as his right to come to his own country is concerned? Pourquoi monnayer un Mauricien de la sorte?
Only a few minutes left.
First of all, if we had, according to our calendar, considered the cruise people to come to Mauritius, it would take months. So they would continue to be on the ships at the expense of the companies. Second, on the contract of employment, it is the duty of the company to bring back the person. No. But on bringing back the person is being quarantined. Listen. And I will tell you one thing. We had a meeting where my colleagues were here. And you know, one representative of the company, of the cruise company said, it's too little. Yes. Second thing now. I did not impose Air Mauritius. You should be happy about Air Mauritius. Listen, I told them, if you take your plane, you bring the Mauritian nationals to Mauritius, it is going to fly back empty. So the cost of flying a charter, which is going back empty, is less if you have Air Mauritius, because Air Mauritius can take passengers to London, take cargo, and they will offer you a very good deal. That was the deal. And I think my colleagues are here. We wanted to give them the facility to do so. And they were happy, and they have signed an agreement, and we are starting on the first flight on the 13th.
Can I ask the Minister? The Minister, on behalf of government, has stated that that the government is going to explore all the possibilities. And as of now, unfortunately, only a small percentage of Mauritians have been repatriated. And I'm glad that the Minister has given an orderly plan. Can I ask him to see to it that we put our best endeavor to ensure that all Mauritians are repatriated, but at the same time, convey the message to them as to when they are going to come back. It's very important that the right information is conveyed so that there is no doubt being instilled.
Yeah. Madam, Mr. Speaker, I'm still in the last mandate.
The spirit of the former speaker.
This is my first PNQ for this mandate. So by the end of July, we would have repatriated 4,000 people, which is, I think, but I totally agree with the Leader of the Opposition that when you are stranded somewhere, you want to know when you will be able to. I think that, for example, we have reassured the people in Pakistan, in Reunion Island, in Maldives, in Addis Ababa, in Nairobi, in Australia, we have done it. So now we are using the hubs. What are we going to do? We were going to say that you're going to have a flight to Mauritius on such and such day, leaving Dubai. Make your arrangements to come to Dubai. We will airlift you from there to come back to home.
And to give them the necessary financial support.
The financial support, it's good the leader of the
One
opposition
leader
given
of
me.
the opposition.
You know, I went to State Bank and to the MCB to see to it that they have a soft loan of 100,000 rupees at 3% without COT, without security. And the High Commission they have been helping in this. Thank you.
Honorable Xavier Duval.
Mr. Speaker, I wanted to come back to the Velindrome, the cruise ship. Now, the Minister stated quite clearly that the Indian sailors were allowed to have their quarantine on board ship. Is that correct? Now, why doesn't the same apply to the 13 Mauritians coming on the Velindrome and Island Princess?
Because-
Let me finish. Given that there were no COVID cases on these ships, why were they not assumed to have done their quarantine at that time on that ship?
There were 13 Mauritians on that ship and 700 other crew members. What guarantee? We never got any guarantee that the ship was COVID-free with 800 people.
Honorable Luthi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sir, I wanted to just quickly about the students and other Mauritians who are stranded in Malaysia, whose visa has expired, and the Malaysian government has intimated that everybody needs to leave the country by the end of June. What is being done in respect to our compatriots who are in Malaysia?
Mr. Speaker, sir, what we have done, we have asked our high commissions and our consulates and our embassies to ask for the local authorities to extend visas because of the pandemic, and we are having a flight to KL.
Honorable Leader of the Opposition, last
Can
question.
I make an appeal to government to see to it that we don't monetize the airlifting of our people, and to be more humane and to extend financial support to those who are stranded?
The financial support is there. Parents here, relatives here can take the soft loan. The other thing is, as regards to the stranded Mauritians, we have a duty, and we will rise to the call of duty. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Time is over.
Voilà donc pour cette private notice question du leader de l'opposition, axé le ban mauricien qui est bloqué à l'étranger. D'ici la fin juillet, 4000 Mauriciens pour finir être rapatriés. C'est l'annonce que le ministre des Affaires étrangères, Nand Boda, fait à l'instant à l'Assemblée nationale. Le ministre a indiqué en début de sa réponse qu'actuellement, on a 6350 Mauriciens qui sont bloqués dans 92 pays. Alors, pour Nand Boda, le terme « stranded », ben, du monde qui est bloqué à l'étranger, pour lui, sa définition, c'est un Mauricien qui a un billet retour. Un touriste, un étudiant, un monde qui est en pèlerinage, donc un monde qui pas habite, qui pas réside dans ce pays-là, mais un monde qui n'est allé et il y a un billet retour, c'est sa définition de stranded. Alors, l'IPEDIA, la situation est plus compliquée parce qu'il y a un résident mauricien à l'étranger qui, à cause de la situation sanitaire dans ce même pays-là, je peux envie retourner à Maurice parce qu'ils se sentent plus safe à Maurice, parce que Maurice n'a aucun cas de COVID actuellement, même cas de transmission locale. Alors, le ministre fin aussi dire qu'il donne un plan de rapatriement, il peut dire qui d'ici fin juin pour rapatrier 645 Mauriciens, et il dit qu'actuellement nos capacités de quarantaine les de 700. Il dit qu'il y a 2000 membres d'équipage de ben bateau de croisière, et je retrouve le 21 bateaux de croisière en ce moment, et 80% de ces 2000 Mauriciens qui le bateau de croisière là, je finis être recruté par 3 compagnies. Le ministre vient de dire que donc dans le mois de juin, pour 3 vols, pour 150 Mauriciens, le 5 vols, pas capable de mettre plus parce qu'ils besoin observer social distancing dans l'avion. Dans le mois de juillet, pour 3 à 4 vols. Et il dit qu'il espérait que l'exercice de rapatriement continue en août. Le ministre vient indiquer que maintenant, le fait que l'aéroport de Dubaï fin ouvert, ça peut aider beaucoup. Alors, pour servir Dubaï comme hub pour rapatrier les Mauriciens, notamment les Mauriciens qui bloqués au Pakistan, je viennent le Dubaï et je retourne à Maurice, et pour servir Paris et Londres également comme hub. L'India, en juillet, je plan pour rapatrier 1164 Mauriciens, toujours en tenant compte de nos capacités de quarantaine à Maurice. Et là, ça ben Mauriciens là, je peux bien faire 4 tests COVID-19. D'abord, avant qu'ils se rendent dans l'avion dans sa ben pays respectif là. Quand je arrive Maurice, je peux faire un deuxième test PCR. Après 7 jours dans quarantaine, un troisième test. Et le 14e jour, je peux faire un 4e test. Et si résultat négatif, je suis capable de rentrer la case. Et il dit que ben vol peut coûter bien cher. Ben place le ben vol coûte bien cher parce qu'il y a social distancing. Et l'idée que social distancing bien important. Et Nando Boda dit que le gouvernement prend beaucoup de précautions dans l'exercice de rapatriement là. L'idée qu'il y a un dimoun qui est positif dans l'avion, il est capable de contaminer l'avion en entier. Et l'idée qu'il ne faudrait pas une deuxième vague de COVID-19 à Maurice. Là, la tranche de une question supplémentaire. Le leader de l'opposition, Orvin Boulel, met en avant une convention internationale qui dit qu'un citoyen a un droit rentre dans ce pays et que le gouvernement a besoin obligé à rapatrier sa ben dimoun-là. Le leader de l'opposition évoque sa bateau qui ne passe prêt avec pour lui, mais pas capable, pas gain l'autorisation pour amener ben Mauriciens qui tient sa bateau-là. Alors, il y a 13 Mauriciens, loin de bateau, mais Nando Boda fin expliquer qu'il a sa bateau-là. Pas seulement 13 Mauriciens, il y a 700 les autres passagers. Et il n'y a aucune garantie que sa bateau-là est COVID-free. Et il dit le gouvernement pas capable de prendre un risque pareil. Il dit un avion avant qu'il rapatrie ben Mauriciens, cet avion-là, il désinfecté. Ben membre l'équipage de l'avion et un ben équipement nécessaire et un social distancing. Il y a un bateau, puis il y a tout ça une mesure qui prend dans un avion et il y a le gouvernement pas capable de prendre risque. Et l'opposition fin dire qui fait papier les ben compagnies de croisière affrètent ben avion privé pour rapatrier ben Mauriciens à Maurice, alors qui, pendant le lockdown, laisse ben private jet atterrir à Maurice. Et l'idée de l'opposition évoque le cas de ben Mauriciens qui est aux Maldives, je peux dire ça dans l'introduction, l'idée qui fait ben laisse ben Mauriciens rentrer depuis Maldives un avion privé. Nando Boda pas trop clair alors là, il y a un cas qui est en cours et l'idée qui probablement pour laisser un avion atterrir, mais il n'est pas trop clair dans sa réponse. Alors, Shakil Mohamed fin intervenir, il peut dire gouvernement, ministère des Affaires étrangères, Maurice, fin envoyer un email à une compagnie de croisière pour dire que c'est une compagnie là qui pour besoin paye les frais de quarantaine de ben Mauriciens qui viennent à Maurice. Et Shakil Mohamed peut dire qu'il peut faire ben là paye $1,300 américains par Mauricien paye ça à Air Mauritius et qui fait paye impose Air Mauritius qui fait maintenant pas capable de retourner loin de vol. Donc Nando Boda peut dire qui je finis une réunion avec sa même compagnie croisière là, il finit explique qui par Air Mauritius le coût capable au fait moins cher parce que ça mène un avion privé là quand je pour ramener ben Mauricien quand je pour retourner vide et ça pour un coût. Alors et là le ministre fin aussi répondre à une question supplémentaire de Xavier-Luc Duval qui peut dire qui fait par les ben Mauriciens là qui le bateau vini mais seulement je reste en quarantaine le bateau. Le ministre Boda peut dire qu'il n'est pas capable en risque parce qu'il n'y a aucune garantie qui ce bateau là est COVID free. Reza Yutim fin dire qu'il y a un étudiant qui bloqué en Malaisie et votre visa fini expiré et le gouvernement malaisien nous dit jusqu'à la fin juin pour quitter Malaisie. Et là, le ministre Boda fin dire qu'il y a une démarche qu'il peut faire pour être capable d'extendre ce visa et en même temps peut faire des démarches pour rapatrier les autres. Et il dit que ben, la banque peut donner un soft loan de 100 000 roupies avec l'intérêt 3%, puis n'a aucune garantie. Et il encourage ben, du monde qui peut dans les moyens pour retourner prend sa ben loan là. Voilà, Jagdish, donc les réponses, l'échange qui finit là entre le ministre Boda et ben membre de l'opposition. Et nous retenir à ce chiffre, il y a d'ici fin juillet, 4 000 Mauriciens pour finir être rapatriés, mais le nombre peut continuer à augmenter de jour en jour.
Oui, 6 350 officiellement, d'après les chiffres du jour. Ensuite, se trouve dans 92 pays, alors sur presque tous les continents. Le nombre peut augmenter parce qu'il d'abord, il y a un compte bien expliqué, un qui est stranded. Donc, je là avec un billet retour. Et c'est allé comme touriste, comme voyageur, homme d'affaires. Il a également finalement en pèlerinage. Mais ban qui ont envie de retourner, c'est ban qui peut employer dans certains pays. Et ils ont dit que le travail est fermé, activité, le ralentissement, paralysé même. Donc, je peux préférer retourner Maurice jusqu'à que la situation est décantée, jusqu'à que la situation améliorée. Ensuite, finalement, une question supplémentaire concernant c'est-à-dire de Arvin Boulel, si la haute commission mauricienne à Londres propose un laboratoire que tout bon mauricien qui peut envie retourner, bien le faire test là-bas. Et là, le ministre, il répond, il ne dit pas imposer, mais simplement, peut donner un conseil, peut aider dans le sens qui dirige dans quelle direction je besoin aller pour gagner un certificat qui est COVID-free. Ensuite, loan, on nous a dit, donc il y a une loan de 100 000 roupies, sauf loan, 3% l'intérêt qui de la banque qui l'a approché, State Bank et la banque commerciale. Maintenant, c'est une question d'importance nationale parce qu'il y a beaucoup de détresse de sa famille qui trouve en Maurice et également une famille donc, qui trouve à l'étranger et qui, puis envie, retrouve ce pays.
Mm-hmm. Voilà donc l'essentiel de cette PNQ Jagdish. Et là, donc l'exercice de rapatriement pour continuer. Mais on a toujours un risque qui nous gagne un cas importé. Mais l'important, c'est qu'il prend une mesure sanitaire qui est besoin. De toute façon, ça va être Mauricien. Je peux être placé en quarantaine à l'arrivée à Maurice.
Avec 8 vols donc, qui prévoient pendant le mois de juin et juillet. Et là, un élément très intéressant. Heureusement, Dubaï est ouvert. Emirates au pays avant de vol, dans certains pays. Donc, pour servir comme une plateforme, comme un point de correspondance, Dubaï et 200 pays-là.
Au fur et à mesure, Jagdish, je peux amener les autres aéroports qui peuvent ouvrir.
L'aéroport, Pakistan possiblement, peut commencer ouvert pour capable faire un avion sorti depuis le Pakistan, dans l'Inde, et dans l'Europe également, et se déplacer et retourne ressortissant qui vraiment envie retrouve ce pays.
Voilà donc autant pour cette PNQ, débat le budget 2020-2021 peut continuer à l'Assemblée nationale. Merci et à bientôt.